What you tolerate. Hello everybody, it's Tom here from the Company Code. I hope you're all well today. Today we are going to discuss the idea of boundaries and what people accept as acceptable behaviour. Everybody is different. That is the first thing that you have to understand, okay? What one person deems acceptable in terms of the boundaries will be different to the next. And that is why sometimes we have conflicts and problems, okay? But it's vital, but in any relationship, whether that be a friendship, a business partnership, a romantic relationship, that you establish straight away what those boundaries are, and that the person who's in the partnership with you, whether that be, as I said, a work colleague, a friend, an acquaintance, a romantic partner, a business partner, understands 100% what is deemed acceptable and what isn't. Because remember, what you tolerate is you telling that person you're happy with that. If you tolerate it, you're accepting it. So make sure that it's clear that if it's not something you're aligned with, you're not happy with it. And don't hold back, okay? This kind of stems from very, very early days, really. I am not ashamed to admit that as a child, I was bullied quite badly. I was bullied throughout primary school and most of my secondary and high school. Not going to go into the reasons why. It was pretty much rife for everybody, but I was quite bad, to be fair. A lot of it was verbal rather than physical, but there was physical threats there sometimes. But looking back now, while I was commended for my behaviour in high school and primary school as well, sometimes you have to set a precedent, and the worst thing you can do is allow somebody to treat you poorly and get away with it. If you tolerate that behaviour, then they're going to think it's okay, and they're going to do it again and again and again and again, okay? I am not in any way, shape or form an advocate of violence. I don't agree with it. I don't think it solves a problem. But sometimes the age-old thing about when you're being picked on in school and your dad or your mum goes, why don't you just stick one on the nose, whack 'em one basically. Daft as it sounds, while it is the absolute extreme, I think sometimes it does take something big to show the other person that you are not going to accept how they've treated you. I'm not saying that every child watching this or every parent watching this should tell their child to go out and fight back. Not at all. There are better ways of doing things, but sometimes it has to happen. There has to be that reaction, because that may be the only way the other person gets it into their head that you do not treat them that way. Boundaries are important. They are there to set a precedent as to how we expect to be treated and what we deem acceptable. And some things are not acceptable, okay? I'm a great believer that if you don't set the boundaries in a relationship of any sort, then expect that at some point someone will test you and test your boundaries, and you will then have to have that awkward conversation or that flashpoint moment. This is avoided with good communication in the first instance. Whatever you tolerate will set a precedent that they will think that is alright. So if you literally let a situation go over your head that you're not happy with, it's going to reoccur again and again and again. So the message is very clear here today. This is not going to be a long video. I'm going to wrap it up very shortly. Do not tolerate what you're not happy with. Make sure that you set boundaries from the moment that you form any sort of connection or relationship with somebody, regardless of whether that may be a colleague, an acquaintance, a friend, a romantic partner, a business partner, whoever that may be. Let them know clearly what your boundaries are and what you will not tolerate. And make sure that if that happens and that boundary is crossed, you make it clear to that person that absolutely I am not going to tolerate what you've just done. Have some respect for yourself and some love for yourself enough to stand up for what you don't deem as appropriate, okay? You have the right as much as the next person to not have to tolerate what you don't like, okay? That's the message here today. 100% please Don't go quietly. Next time somebody oversteps the mark, make sure you tell them that you're not happy, alright? And tell them in the decent way, but if it has to get a little bit flashed, then so be it. Sometimes it's the only way someone will know. Guys, first of 3 videos this week, I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. I really appreciate your time and energy spent here on my channel. Thank you kindly. First of 3, as I said, put down in the comment section below, are you somebody that's very, very clear on what boundaries are set and what you expect? Or have you, like myself in the past, been a bit too passive and people have tried it on? People will try it on if you let them. That's the whole idea of this video. Don't let somebody overstep the mark again and again and again, because you're teaching that person that you're tolerating that behaviour, therefore you think it's okay. It's not. If it's not okay, you need to call it out, and don't worry about how that affects a relationship. At the end of the day, every person has a point where they have to say enough, and you have to be the same, okay? Remember to hit that subscribe button down below, leave me a thumbs up and a like, and let's hear that bell sign go ding dong so you know my next content's out. I'll be back in a couple of days with another video, but until then, I want to say thank you all as always. I really appreciate your time and energy spent here on my channel. I really appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves and bye for now.